You follow me? Now, it has an opposite. I'm not going to go through all the letters and what their characteristics are. Our lesson today is on the characteristics, the sifat. Why? Because once this lesson is over, the next lesson that we have is going to be on abjad. The next lesson after that is was. That's right, in one lesson, alif, ba, jim, dal. Why? Because you know the sifat. And I'll describe them to you, the letters, but you are responsible to know the sifat, because we're going over that now. Now, if you want to know how that plays into that particular letter, at that time I'll answer that question. Everybody understand my point? So my point here is to learn the sifat. I'll give an example of each one. So this is a flow of breath. What is it? A flow of breath or air, okay, after pronunciation. For example, fa, f, okay? Everybody with me? Okay, we'll see. Let me get this off the board while you'll write that down. Yes? Somebody saying something? Hums? Yes, you can say the words.
That's the definition of hamsun that you just wrote, right?
Yes, sir. There's a literal definition, which is whispering, and there's a technical definition, which is a flow of breath after pronunciation. Okay? When we say humps, we're referring to the flow of breath that comes after its pronunciation. When we say whisper in regard to humps, it is giving you the spirit of that letter, the letters that are represented with humps as a characteristic. Okay? Because we're giving you more than just Arabic here. We're not just telling you, say, Kaif halik, la bas, walhamdulillah. We're giving you the spirit, the root and the toot of the whole Arabic language. Astaghfirullah, no ums. From beginning to end. We're not unturning. We're overturning every little rock and pebble along the way. So it may take a little bit to get there, but you will not lose anything. And those people who want to study the classics, we have other time for studying a different classic, so you can know that. Okay? Like Ajurmi or Alfiya and all those different things like that. Okay, the next one is Jaharun. I said these have opposites. So on the opposite side, over here, I'm going to put Jaharun. Everybody say Jim. Ha, Ra, Jahrun, Jahrun, Jim, Ha, Ra. And when you pronounce Ra, your tongue does not touch anywhere in your mouth. Say Ra. Practice saying Ra without letting your tongue touch the bottom, the top, or the sides. Say Ra. Ra. You understand that? And that's the consciousness that you should have when you pronounce that letter. Okay, so Jahrun literally means loud. Okay, it's loud, clear, and audible so you can hear it. Okay, so I'll just put loud in one term. Okay, just as one word, inshallah ta'ala. As a terminology, it's trapping the flow of breath of air due to a heavy dependence on the makhraj. Let me say that again. It's trapping the flow of air. Traps it. The flow of air because, why? Because there is a heavy dependence on the makhraj. The makhraj is the point of articulation. Okay? For example, a letter that has jahrun is ba. Everybody say ba. Ba. Example is ba. As is in our previous, we put a fatha before it, and an alif, we put a sukoon. We say ab. Say ab. You see that loud? That's jahrun. Yes, I'm being exaggerative slightly. I'm slightly exaggerating, but only slightly. Arabic is an exaggerative language. Ab. You hear that? That Heavy dependence on the makhraj, so you trap the air. Ab. If you don't hear the sound. Ab. You don't know what that is. So it has to come out loud. Ab. You hear that? But you still have to hold that air. When you don't say ab. You say ab. And you hold the air in your nose. Right. You know, so it still resounds, but if you let the air out, it lets go another sound. Okay. So that's the example we have here with ba. So it is trapping the air. Here, it's loud. It's trapping. Everybody say, when I say this, you say it. Okay? Trapping the flow of air.
Trapping the flow of air.
Or we say breath. Air, breath. Due to a heavy dependence on the makhraj. For example, ba. Now that's one. You have one opposite, hamsun, and one is jahrun. So what you will learn is that any letter that has jahrun as a characteristic cannot have hams. Right? Any letter that has jahrun as a characteristic cannot have hams. And any letter that has hams as a characteristic cannot have jahrun. Because these are letters or sifat that are opposite, opposing each other. They're different. They go different direction. This says that you trap the air. This is a flow of air after pronunciation. Letting it go. F. And you let the air just flow. Say it. Whenever I say the example, you say the example over again. And you consistently follow it and mimic that way. That's what children do. They follow you around in their terrible twos. You say, hey, be quiet. They say, hey, be quiet. Hey, don't make fun of me. Don't make fun of me. They do that and it gets on your nerves, but they're practicing. They're practicing their pronunciation and their formulation of sentences. You too, in this class, we're in our terrible twos. So everybody don't crawl on the floor and don't pull out the sockets and knock down the cameras. But what I want you to do is enunciate when I enunciate. F. And now ba is different. Say ab. You hear you're holding the air? Even though you're forcing a sound out, you're controlling it. Ab. F. You see how the F is letting it flow? Ab. F. Ab. F. You see the difference? One is whispering, and one is loud. One traps the air. The other one lets it flow. That's one of the characteristics from each side. The next one is called shidda. I'll put shidda over here. Shidda. Everybody say shidda. Shidda. Okay. Now shidda is sheen, dal, tarmabuta. It's pronounced shidda or shiddatun. Shiddatun is strength. Okay? It's power. Okay? I'm going to say strength right here. But when I use this word strength, I mean strength of force. Okay? Because we're referring this with regards to a letter. It's the strength that you use in pronouncing this letter. Remember, these letters have character. They have personality. Each letter has its own personality. And if you don't know the personality of the letter, you're not pronouncing it, not properly. And you have to consciously give that letter and allow his personality to flow, or to show, I should say. And what is it in tajweed? وَهُوَ إِعْطَاءُ كُلَّ حَرْفٍ حَقَّهُ وَهُوَ إِعْطَاءُ كُلَّ حَرْفٍ حَقَّهُ مِنْ صِفَةٍ لَهَا وَمُسْتَحَقَّهُ. It's giving each letter its rights with regards to its character and its personality and what's tied to its personality. If you don't know, you ain't doing it right. You may be imitating, but you don't know what you're doing. Literally. And it doesn't take much to learn it. So here we have shidda, strength of force. Say that.
Shidda,
Shidda, strength of force.
Shidda, strength or force.
Strength of force. Your force, the force that you bring this letter, you know, or force, you know, you could put or force, you know, but it's the force.